Hello! Oh my god, I'm back! And welcome to another video with your leader, Santa Princess. So, no, I have not changed the wig. No, I have not changed the wig. Is this the same day? Yes, it is. But let's go ahead and go on and act like this is a different day and you weren't just watching my previous video in which you would know that I am recording those two at the same time. Now, let me tell you something I just realized. So, ordinarily, I am really awkward in front of a camera. I don't like being on camera. I don't like being on camera. If you scroll down through my page and you look at my old stuff, baby, I'm not, I'm not really doing all of that. I am not a TikToker. I'm not a YouTuber. I am not that bitch. I've never been that bitch for camera. But something about this mask thing really makes me feel my oats. It's making me feel cunt. Even though I look a mess, it's making me feel cunt. So, now that we have that out of the way, and I've introduced myself again as a small MD artist, eventually I won't have to say that part. I want to talk to you today about eras.
Your flop era is low-key serving. What the fuck does that mean?
Most of the artists that I pattern myself after have eras. Doechii, if you're a real, let's talk about that. If you're a real bitch and you really was following Doechii, you know the Doechii 101 era. You know the I forgot what she called it, the Coven Sessions era. Okay, that was her first era. And my girl was hitting it back then too, but nobody was following her, so they don't really talk about that. We have, Ethel Cain. I love Ethel. And she has her eras as well. Lady Gaga, every album is an era, everybody knows that. Even people that I don't really listen to, like Kendrick Lamar, Tyler the Creator, they all have eras. And so when I'm thinking about myself, when I'm creating artistry, I'm creating it from the sense of where are my eras gonna be. So since I have already completed one era, we can talk about that one, okay? So we are going to be talking about the death of D minor era. None of you probably really know about this because, again, as you are coming onto my page, I'm starting a new era right now. And you've never seen my old era. But I implore you, go ahead, go to my Spotify, honestly, even go to my YouTube. Go ahead and search up Saint Serpentis, scroll down the page. It's really not that far because I don't post that many videos. And you're going to see the death of D minor era. Now, the death of D minor era was kind of my opening book. And one thing that I love about a book, because I love horror, is when a story starts out with the ending of something. So when I was creating the EP, Death of D Minor, I wanted it to be short, concise, and to the point, and I really wanted to drop you as listeners off into something that you knew nothing about. I wanted to drop you off into a world that already existed, and you're just watching the end of it. I wanted to confuse you, okay? Are you confused? Are you confused? I bet you are. So, if you really, I'm not going to get too deep into it because, again, a real cunt bitch is going to do her research. She's going to look at my lyrics, break them down, and really try to figure out what's going on. But let's just say, with the death of one thing, you have the birth of another. If my current era is all about red snakes and Saint Serpentis, then my last era has to be the death of something, correct? And that's really what Death of D minor is about. If if you really want to think about it, my entire musical motif is about being broken down and then rebuilding yourself after. So I needed to drop you off basically in okay, stutter, hello. I wanted to drop you off in the death of me, the death of the old me, questions that I had as a child, questions that never got answered that I still don't have answers to this day. But I wanted to show you kind of how broken down that I was at that time.
I fight through the night. Good right, yes. I can be the one to be no fun, home run, calling for the new gun. Even in my dreams, this is school fun. Shot down 2 times, driven with that red mud.
Before the bad bitch comes out. But that's later. And so that was the whole era of Death of D minor. I really, with that mixtape, with that EP, I really did not think about colors or anything that I'm thinking about in this one. I didn't think about colors. I didn't think about the artistry. I really didn't think about the cover art. Like, a lot of the work done for the Death of D minor is in 3D. None of the photos. I think I took one photo shoot for it. No, yeah, I did. I did take one photo shoot for it, but that wasn't even for the Death of D minor. That was for the beginning of this era. And so, in a lot of ways, looking back on that EP, it's very disheveled compared to what I'm working on now. And you might be asking yourself, well, girl, you look disheveled now. Like, baby, you look coked the fuck out. But that's on purpose, okay? So the last era was not purposely coked the fuck out. But I can tell you something, honey. Making an EP, making a mixtape, making any sort of music is, in all honesty, the most exhausting thing that you can do. I was sitting at my computer. Mind you, I have a shitty ass PC. So it really did take Blender about 6 days to render each one of those videos. So I spent months on making those videos. I think I have about 3 out there. And on top of the writing and then the producing the music for it and then going to the studio and then recording it and then going back to the studio because I hated the first time that I made it and I remade the mixtape. EP, not mixtape. EP. I keep saying mixtape. I wonder why I keep saying mixtape. Mixtape. Anyway, it took me, I believe, my first 6 months in doing music to get that all together and done. And I didn't really have a plan going into it. I knew what I wanted to write. I wrote it, and I moved on from there. I put everything together. I was doing promotion, and at the time, honestly, it worked pretty well. I don't know why I changed things, but at the time, I ended up with 5,000 monthly listeners. Okay, that's halfway to our goal. Right now, our goal is 10,000 because at 10,000, then Spotify is going to start pushing me to other people, and then I can start doing other stuff. But we were at 5,000. And then I sat there and I thought to myself, well, girl, you have no social media presence. So these people that are listening to your music, like, they don't know who you are. And so I decided to completely start over. That is why the Death of D minor, if you really look at it, what is going on with this? Why is this? Okay. that EP is very, very, very disconnected from what I'm making right now. So, oh, I have 35 seconds left. So, I just want you to go ahead and go back, look at that, give that a listen, so you really get into the nitty gritty when I release what's next. Okay. Okay. Bye. I'll see you in the next video, which I'm about to record right now, but you don't need to know that.